There's a lot of talk and discussion about the war on terror and the need for homeland security. What about safety and security for children in our schools? Who's going to protect them, not from, and pardon the stereotype, some extremist Islamic terrorists, but from their own classmates and neighbors?
Well, that's a good question, especially with the events that have happened over the last couple of weeks. You know, it becomes a problem that deals with community, and it comes with how we've really handled folks that have mental illness. We've got to have to invest some dollars into those kind of programs, both at the federal and at the state level. But ultimately, what it really deals with is hope, I think, more than anything. When we've got families out there that are working 2 and 3 jobs to pay heating bills and insurance bills and the college tuitions, which are often unattainable for many middle-class families, it's really time that we focus tax breaks and policy on the middle class. Small businesses, working families, and I think it'll allow people to stay home more and interact with their kids more and solve a lot of these problems that are happening in our schools today.
There are several programs out here, and right now I've funded a program called Safe Schools. It's administered by the University of Montana. We're struggling right now with some funds, but they've done a great job as far as educating not only the teachers, the principals, and the superintendents, but also law enforcement who have people that could respond to those situations in our public schools, like we've seen we've just got seem like a raft of those things happen. Safe Schools is a good program. We're having trouble funding it, and that I think that's probably one of my things that we're going to have to re-establish the funds when we go back into appropriations, because that's the key, is awareness of a problem with children who may be having problems that we don't notice right away. Thank you.
Jackie, this problem truly is global. I think that it really speaks to where we're at societally right now, and what's happening in Montana's families and America's families, that gives them hope and gives them opportunity to raise their kids. There's just far too many families right now that are having to work far too many jobs to make ends meet. And I think this is truly unfortunate. And in the end, you've got kids that are home alone at night. And it's not because the family is not doing their job, it's that they have to work to pay the bills and to balance the budget. And so that's why I think we can do some things through programs, potentially after-school programs, but really let's grow the family first and give them opportunities to succeed. And I think this issue will never disappear, unfortunately, but it'll certainly subside.
Now a question from Jim Gransberry for Senator Burns.
In a recent debate, you said the United States must win the war in Iraq at any cost. Please explain what you mean by any cost in terms of U.S. and Iraqi casualties, to the combat readiness of U.S. forces at home and around the world, to our allies, and to the Treasury.
We cannot lose in Iraq. The consequences of losing there is too great. It is different than any kind of enemy we've ever faced. We have to be agile. We have to change our tactics with the enemy and how it changes its tactics. And some cases we've been unable to do that. I agree with Senator Warner and on his assessment. If we don't change, then we'll pay a heavier price. But we cannot lose it. Losing it, the consequences are too great. Not only in the international community and how we're regarded in the international community, but also our word and how we approach people who want to live free. They want the same freedoms we do. Walk among them. Talk among them. And we have the opportunity to do it. We're awfully close of standing up of, I think, a pretty good militia. A pretty good militia that they can take over their own security. And I'm looking forward to that.
Do I get 2 minutes too? I will tell you that the war, winning the war in Iraq, I haven't heard what a win constitutes, quite frankly. And it's good to hear Senator Burns finally realize that the stay the course that he had back in June is not the right course. And so I appreciate you coming over to my side on this issue, Senator Burns, where the President needs to develop a plan. We need to bring those troops home as soon as possible. That's the bottom line. The bottom line is right now, we've got 2,700 dead. We've got 20,000 wounded, and the report I heard last week was 650,000 Iraqis dead. We've got major problems, onset of a civil war. Senator Burns said it's hard, you know, it's hard to turn people around when they want to kill one another. We're in a quagmire over there. The fact is, it's taken our focus off the war on terror. We haven't been diligent on that. It's costing us too much in blood. It's costing us too much in money. And quite frankly, there is no plan and there's no end in sight. And that needs to change.
John, don't draw me into your camp. I said we got to win. He wants to pull out. He wants everybody to know our plan. That's not smart. If you had a plan in order to win, are you going to tell the enemy? The enemy's not going to tell us. That is absolutely unbelievable that anybody would take that approach. He says our president don't have a plan. I think he's got one, but he's not going to tell everybody in the whole world. And if you want to go out and spar for a fight, are you going to tell your enemy what your plan is? I don't think so. And that's the way we'll win it, because we want to win it.
I got to answer this. Is it possible? He had a minute and a half his first
No,
one.
we'll go on to our next question. Mike Stark, a question
answer it
for Senator Tester.
Well, I think I'll go off my script a little bit and continue this discussion.
Thank you.
Senator Tester, what is your plan for, what would be your plan for Iraq, and what do you think the President's plan is?
The President's plan right now is to stay there, keep doing the same thing, and it's going to turn this war over to the next president. I don't think that's a plan. The fact is right now, there is no plan because the President has said, we're staying there. That's the way it is, you know? He went in under false pretenses. Weapons of mass destruction, nuclear weapons, never came about. We pulled troops out of Afghanistan to fight the war in Iraq. Afghanistan was the war on terror. Osama bin Laden still runs free. Al-Qaeda still runs free. Because we're dealing with a war in Iraq, quite frankly, that there's no leadership on, and we're losing young people every day, and it's costing us $8 billion a month that our kids are going to have to pay for. I'm not after telling our opponents what we're going to do. The fact is we don't know what we're going to do over there right now, and the military has done a great job. They've done a marvelous job, but our political leadership has not.
Again, he says there's no plan. There is a plan. We're not going to tell you, John. We're not going to tell you what our plan is because you just go out there and blow it. Period. My heavens. That's just common sense. That's enough.
I just want to say one thing.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Hold on.
This is his response,
It's my response.
his last word, and then we'll move on.
No, I don't think he has. I think he's out of bounds.
No.
No. Mike asked me a question. I answered. You get the answer. I get the
Oh,
answer.
really?
That's the way it works.
Like checkers?
Yeah, that's the way it works. Well, it's interesting, Senator Burns, because I listened to some of your comrades on TV just last week that came back from Iraq. I guess they don't know the plan either. Chairman of the Armed Service Committee doesn't know the plan, but you do. Because the chairman of the Armed Services Committee said, if things don't change, we're going to change things. We need to have a plan.
Okay, now it's time for a question from Jackie Yamanaka to Senator Burns.